Hey guys, what's up everyone? Welcome or welcome back again to another video tutorial lesson from the Apex Predator Billiards Training Club. My name is Apex Elenio, and yes, we are back on the practice table to discuss another very important build up to your game. Of course, this is a intermediate drill for B plus and A level players. Of course, C plus players, C level players can actually attempt to do the drill, but of course I'm not so certain as to the level and the consistency of your stroke, so this drill might give you a bit of problem. But for the B players and the A players, this is a drill that you need to take some time out to actually practice. I actually did a previous video that was recommended by Niels Fine. Of course, he did a spin shot 3-reel video, which I actually completed successfully. The link is right here in the description box below, and of course right here in the cards for you. Have a look at that video. And of course, we are going to be doing a breakdown version of the video, trying to understand what happens to the cue ball as it travels the angle with spin, but specifically we are targeting the middle of the table. How do we get that cue ball to go around the angles and still be able to get it to get into the middle of the table? And we're also going to be looking at another version where if the angle is a bit steeper or a bit shallow, what will the cue ball do? So if this is the first time here on the channel, consider smashing that subscribe button below, dropping a like onto the video. Do not forget to turn on that post notification bell. Please do go ahead and check if you have that turned on. And of course, do not forget to share this out to your pool communities. Let's get onto the practice table and see what this drill is all about. Alright guys, so what I have set up here is just a couple of object balls that are close to the rail, like about a half a chalk width away from the rail. And I actually was doing a practice session where I actually developed a little system. Well, I cannot take full credit for the system. It is actually using the clock system in its variation to actually get me to understand how does that cue ball move around the angles. So what I recognize in my practice session is that if the object ball is, say, like a half a diamond or like a full diamond away from the pocket, then using 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock spin, depending on the angle of the cut, within this case I'm cutting my object ball to my left, so I'm going to be using 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock and 9 o'clock spin. The cue ball tends to come back into the middle of the table with relative consistency and ease. So here I'm about a diamond width away from the corner pocket. So if I were to aim at, say, 11 o'clock in this case here, at a specific angle of 45 degrees, then the cue ball will go back into the middle of the table. So how do I predict my 45-degree angle? I know that my 45-degree angle is usually going to be like about 1, 2, 3, 4 diamonds away in this direction. So I find the line directly across from the rail here and 4 diamonds down here. So at 45 degrees here, I should be able to get back to the middle of the table. So here we go, guys. Spin shot, 11 o'clock spin here. Nice and smooth. And get back to the middle of the table. My tablecloth is a bit worn out, obviously. You guys already know this, but you can see that it's tracking towards the middle of the table. Again, we're going to just be looking at 45 degrees for now. So here, I'm across from the second diamond. So 1, 2, 3, 4 diamonds down. That's about 45 degrees here. And if I spin this cue ball into the 2 and go around the angles, then I should safely see that the cue ball is coming back to the middle of the table here. So here we go. 10 o'clock spin here. Nice and smooth. there you can see it's coming back to the middle of the table. That's really, really nice there. All right, so now we're gonna get down to the 3 ball. Now I'm about 3 diamonds away, and this shot is a little bit more crucial. All right, the distance of the object ball away from the pocket is farther, and I have to ensure that I hit this cue ball precise with the right tempo, right timing, and I have to apply the spin as cleanly as possible. So here I'm going to be using in between about 9 o'clock. I'm not going to be using full 9 o'clock spin here. I'm going to be using about anywhere between 9 and 10 o'clock there. So I'm going to be using lateral spin, and I should get that cue ball to come somewhere near to the middle of the table here. It's a tough shot. It's near to the scratch line, so you have to apply the spin smoothly here. There you can see across the middle of the table there with relative ease, and that was nicely executed. All right, now it literally becomes a bit impractical here once you're at this point, because now if you try, let's say for example you actually had an angle, let's say so, and you had to actually cut this 4 ball in. I've never really seen a situation in my career where I had to actually play a shot like this, but it literally becomes impractical because now I'm now in this half of the table, and it's almost next to impossible to touch this short rail here and get back. But let's see what happens. Literally, I feel like I'm about to catch the first diamond here, so I'm actually not even gonna execute this shot here. Well, let's just try it for now. All right, so at 45 degrees here, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's about here. If I had to cut this shot, I literally don't think that we need to go 3 rails here. And even if we try to, I don't think we're going to be able to touch the short rail here. You can see there, it's a tough shot. Let's try to do that one more time. That's what practice is all about, guys. Alright, so at 45 degree angle, I don't think we're going to be touching the short rail, but we're going to try to make the shot. I'm going to be aiming with about 8 o'clock spin here. That was actually my closest attempt, but you can see it's almost impractical to actually try to go 3 rails off such a shot. But the limit to really doing this spin shot here is when you're actually in this half of the table and you have to try to go around the angles. All right, now let's see what happens now if we are on the 1 o'clock diamond here. We are at 45. Let's say now we are at less than 45 degrees. So let's say now we are aiming towards about a diamond away from the pocket, but this time now we are less than 45 degrees. Let's say about 22.5 degrees. All right, there about. All right, let's try to get it here. Then again, if I use 1 o'clock spin, I'm simply just going to be catching the rail about here. I'm going to be catching it about down here, and I'm going to go below the center of the table here. So same procedure, 1 o'clock spin. Let's see what happens to the cue ball. 1 o'clock spin. There you can see it's still coming towards the center of the table, but I'm getting a bit lower here. All right, and of course let's do another one here. All right, again at about 22.5 degrees with 1 o'clock spin here. I'm just using this marker here, this piece of paper, to mark the center of the table, and at this angle here I'm still going to go below the center of the table here. There. can see, heading right near to the center of the table. All right, so the center of the table, ladies and gentlemen, and sports fans, is a very, very important part of the table. The ability to understand how the cue ball travels at around 45 degrees or less. If it becomes a bit steeper, let's do one more. If it becomes a bit steeper, then you're going to find that if you use this system here, the cue ball is going to come in a bit sharper. So let's say that we're not at 45 degrees, but we're now, say, at 30 degrees. Then what's going to happen is that the cue ball is going to come in a bit sharper. So here we go. Aiming about 1 o'clock spin here. Less than 45 degrees. Spin shot. Coming back to the center of the table, but this time it's coming a bit short. It's not coming directly in the center, but just below the center of the table. All right, so hope you guys like that drill. Get on the table, practice it, and of course do your very best and get some practice time in on the table. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, and see you next time in another tutorial video. Peace. Pocket hangers in pool and how to handle them. Have you ever had a shot stuck in the pocket and you're trying to play position and this happens to you? Or you try to play it with a lot of speed and it goes a couple of rails and land on top of your objective ball? Try these couple of options. Light speed with a touch of top right spin to go a couple of rails into position, or light speed with a touch of top spin and a fairly thin touch one rail position. Option 3, rail first with a touch of center right spin, couple of rails, be careful of the scratch. Or rail first with a touch of speed, fast speed and a thin contact, short side position on the 9. Light speed with a touch of top right spin, 4 rail, 5 rails position on the 9. Follow me for more.